This is the 2020 Sienna XLE. If you're in the market for a dependable, long-lasting minivan, then look no further than this Sienna. The Sienna XLE has Toyota Safety Sense with pedestrian detection alert, lane departure alert, dynamic cruise control, and smart stop technology to keep you and your passengers safe wherever you go. With power sliding side doors, a roof rack, and plenty of cargo space, this Sienna is a comfortable way from point A to point B for you and the whole family, no matter the trip. The best part is that this Sienna is covered by Toyota's certified pre-owned warranties. Today, we're taking Nick Ford for a drive. The 6'1" sharpshooting winger has put up impressive numbers during his time with Roanoke this season, with 13 goals and 12 assists in 25 games for the Dawgs.
Nick, how's it going, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. Good to see you.
I'm Mitch Stewart, and this is Driving with the Dawgs.
Thanks for joining me here.
I see you again.
I feel like I'm picking you up and like driving you to practice or something. I'm in the soccer mom van here. You got us in the swaggin' wagon. What was that period of time like when you were kind of trying to navigate through the pandemic and trying to start your professional career?
So when I signed with Florida out of college, I kind of knew it was only going to be for a few weeks because I had to go back to finish school, but then COVID made it even shorter. And then going into next season, it was kind of up in the air if like teams were going to have a year or not, just because COVID was still rampant throughout the country. And then I went to Pensacola for a game and just, didn't really have a great first impression. And from there on out, I just had quit for the rest of the year after that point. And I'm fortunate enough to be here.
Throughout this year, you kind of had a bit of a crazy season. So you started in training camp in Idaho with the Steelheads, the ECHL. Then you made your way here to Roanoke, had a lot of success. That earned you a call up to Adirondack in the ECHL. You came back to Roanoke, and then right after Christmas, you got called up to Jacksonville until right after Valentine's Day. Back to Roanoke. Beginning of March, back to Jacksonville. Now we fortunately have you back. What is that situation like when you're kind of bouncing between cities, between teams throughout the season?
It's pretty nice this year because I didn't have my car here, so every time I'm going up and down or the team's getting me a flight, so it's pretty easy to travel. I just bring a little suitcase and with about a week's worth of clothes, and I'm in one city and I'm back in the next. So it's pretty funny how it works out because you never really know when it's coming. And but no, it's great to be back in Roanoke for sure.
I want to talk a little bit about how you ended up coming to Roanoke in the first place. We had you signed before training camp. Of course, you spent the first couple weeks of the year in the ECHL before you finally made it to the team. What was that kind of situation like, that process like when you were communicating with head coach Dan Bremner and trying to come to Roanoke?
So over the summer, I grew up with Matt O'Day, and he had played here in the past, so it was kind of a player connection there. He was recommended coming here. So Matt kind of opened the door for me with Coach Bremner, and from there on out, me and Brems were talking over the summer about, coming here and like what it would look like and everything. So Matt O'Day definitely with the hookup here for sure.
The assist there, yeah. Matt O'Day, master recruiter.
Yeah,
we'll have to see if he can get a finder's fee or something like that for you. Growing up with Matt O'Day, you guys both grew up in Illinois. You're from the Chicago area. What was it like growing up there in the Windy City and kind of getting your start out into the sport?
Yeah, I started early from I was like 4 years old, and I think I knew of Matt when I was like 7 or 8. He was a year older than me, so we like ran into each other in a couple like youth hockey camps and everything. But then we finally played together. I think I was like 13 at the time, our first year together. Then we played the next 2 years on the same team, and we've been best friends ever since. So it's been big 10 years later now, or maybe even more. I'm not even sure, but pretty funny that we're still playing together.
I imagine you've probably lived with a few different players throughout the season since you've kind of been back and forth. I was curious who you're living with now and what your days away from the rink or after practice kind of look like here in the Star City.
When I first came down from Idaho, I was living with Matt O'Day and Sean Leonard, and Matt's been like the guy who's been staying there for the whole time, so he's been keeping the house in good condition. And now coming back down, it was just me and Matt at the same spot. But I'm sure by now the fans will find out that we have Sean Leonard coming back, so he'll be moving in either tonight or tomorrow.
Well, it's a good thing that this is not live, because
Yeah.
actually at the time of this recording, that is I didn't even know that.
This morning, found out. So he's coming. It'll be out at like 5 p.m. probably.
That is awesome. A really good guy, great player. So another big piece back for the playoff push. Few goals against Macon in that series, but you pulled out the gritty celebration.
Yeah.
In that same weekend, CJ Valerian pulled the little Superman celebration on his first goal at Berglund Center. And then we have a couple that throughout the year are pretty consistent. Like Mac kind of has his little like claw wave type of celebration, and then Jeff Jones goes with the old classic salute, pretty often. Who do you think has the best celly on the team?
That's a tough one. I'm a huge fan of the gritty, and I don't know if I was here for it, but apparently CJ Stubbs did it first. So I think I'm gonna have to go with Stubbs with the OG gritty celebration.
I actually don't. I'd have to.
He said he did it real quick, but a lot of the boys said he did it. So I'm gonna go with Stubbs.
You like to get out on the golf course, and you definitely got some extra time to practice getting down to the warmer weather in Florida. I want to hear if you all went out for a round of 18 with the team. Who's the player to watch? Who's going to win that round of 18 in your opinion?
I think it's close between Josh Nenadal and Nick DeVito. They were playing the group ahead of us. I think they were playing a different type of keeping score, but Nens finished with the lowest score, and I think DeVito won like overall holes. Like they were playing head to head. So I would say I'll put my money on Nens for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say those two guys definitely very competitive on the ice. So I can't imagine what they're like out there on the golf course. What are the expectations of the team as the playoffs are kind of looming here in the next couple of weeks in April?
We have a pretty confident group. I think we're confident we can beat anyone on any night, as long as we come to play hard and how we're supposed to be playing. So honestly, I think we're going to make a pretty big run at it, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're holding the trophy in the end.
There we go. Yeah, I like the confidence there. You've got one of the stronger shots probably in the SPHL. A lot of pace, a lot of fire coming in behind those slap shots and your wristers. How did that kind of come to be for you? Was it something that you kind of always had a pretty strong shot, or was it something that you kind of had to hone and work on over time to kind of get it to where you're at today?
I think I always had a pretty decent shot, but then probably like 6 years ago I got invited to skate with one of my best friends who is a goalie, and we did, so like the last 6 summers I've been doing goalie skates like every day, so I've been shooting a ton of pucks. So I guess just kind of working at it and just practice over time. It's gotten better and better, and I'm a little bit heavier than most guys on the team, so I think that helps too.
What is maybe one part of your game that you've kind of recognized has maybe taken a big jump forward throughout this season, maybe in comparison to prior seasons?
I think my compete level and physicality is more consistent. I think that's something that Brems has kind of brought out of me. I always had the physical side, but doing it more often creates more space for guys on our team, and it makes guys not want to play against you. So I think it gives yourself more room too.
Is there maybe one kind of last message, or maybe anything that I didn't get to, that you'd like to let fans know that are checking out this video?
It's good to be back in Roanoke. I know it's been a tough stretch the last month or two, I guess. So we just want to say thank you for the support, and we're going to turn things around.
I think that's the right way to look at it, the right way to end it. I know that you guys are definitely psyched to get through these last couple home game weekends and bring some playoff hockey here to Roanoke. So thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you,
Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, take it easy, and good luck to you this weekend.
All right, thank you.
Driving with the Dawgs is sponsored by Haley Toyota, the official ride of your Railyard Dogs. Visit Haley Toyota online at HaleyHasItForLess.com and stay tuned for more episodes coming soon.